morning. My name is Pizarek. I work for the Janssen Supply Group, and I support Naramco, based in Athens, Georgia. So for me, I had to drive in last night because I'm not as familiar with the area, and thankfully I did, or I think I would still be out on the road. So my presentation is going to broadly describe Johnson & Johnson and the Janssen supply chain and our key focus areas. And then more specifically, I'll talk about the Naramco supply chain and some of our local challenges and opportunities. So everybody's probably heard of Johnson & Johnson, but to frame it up, it's a near $60 billion company that has three major business sectors. MD&D is our medical device and diagnostic group. That's right now our #1 sales business. Pharmaceuticals, bio and chemical, 36%, and consumer represents 24% of our business. Healthcare is transforming, there's no question about that. You can pick up a newspaper or e-news or television, whatever you look at, but it is changing. The marketplace, the political landscape, the industry is changing, and the supply chain is needing to change with it. So our Janssen supply chain vision understands the healthcare changes that are occurring globally. Our path is to build on our solid legacy, our successful foundation, and drive supply chain integration where appropriate among the major business sectors we just looked at. The Janssen Biopharma Chemical spans 5 continents and many local cultures, and that in and of itself is a challenge. We were talking earlier just about the culture in Puerto Rico. We think that we understand each other, but we learn every day that we still have more learning to do. The supply chain transformation that we're going through encompasses 5 focus areas. We need to utilize new production and distribution techniques. We will serve in multiple markets. We need to incorporate new products, technologies, and businesses. And we need to be highly skilled at collaboration and partnering. And probably most importantly, we must provide access to our products through affordability. We talk about cost and cost control. We've talked about it in probably the 25 years I've been working in the supply chain. But I think now it's more important than ever that firms find ways to be competitive, cost competitive in the healthcare industry. So our challenge in the Janssen supply chain is to deploy these supply chain integrator concepts throughout our global network, to diverse markets and customers, to think differently and to do better. All right, so coming closer to home in Athens, Georgia, where Naramco was centered here in the picture, but above us, Naramco also encompasses Wilmington, Delaware site, and Tasmania, Australia. So we're vertically integrated. The key raw materials coming from Tasmania into both Wilmington and Athens. And then more specifically, just Athens, we're located just east of Athens on Olympic Drive. This is a great aerial view of our 135-acre campus. Nice summertime view. And this is what the fall Saturday looks like in Athens. So I know I'm on Georgia Tech.
I'm surprised this light came up in this building.
If there's a back door, just tell me if I need to go. But I am a Bulldog fan as well. I did not go to school at UGA, but living in the area, being involved in the community, certainly take advantage of what they have to offer. But back to Naramco. So our culture is all of the above we've just seen from the Janssen supply chain, but what we work at to make sure we're a supply chain partner for our company are 3 key areas. We have to earn the right to exist every day in Athens, Georgia. We take that as the #1 thing we have to do for safety, environment, and legal requirements. We have to earn the right to sell. So we don't take that for granted either. We have to have high quality standards and we have to meet all the pharmaceutical and regulatory requirements. And then finally, fundamentally, we have to do very, very good within the supply chain in terms of having product available, delivery, all the fundamental things. We have to do it better than others. So we are very diversified in Athens, Georgia, for Naramco. We supply the three major J&J's business sectors: medical devices, key intermediate materials to our Ethicon franchise. And by the way, Ethicon has a very large facility located up in Cornelia, Georgia. And they're in that medical device facility, which is really doing well. That sector has taken the #1 spot from Pharma Bio recently with the loss of some of our patents. We hope to get that back with new products, but we're not there yet. We supply active pharmaceutical ingredients to J&J Pharma. One of our franchises is a marketing company that we distribute directly to U.S. customers as well. I'll talk about that in a minute with controlled substances. And then finally, we also do some key raw materials for some of the J&J consumer brands. So what are our supply chain challenges locally? Well, certainly, moving controlled substances, which are DEA-regulated materials within the United States and Puerto Rico, and some emerging marketplaces we're trying to get into, Europe, Western Europe, Asia, is a huge challenge. These are premium moves that require the best security, tracking, monitoring, and fast turnaround. We expect in the United States that we will deliver next day, and that freight will be monitored from the time it leaves our dock to the time it delivers to a customer. So we need providers that can own that type of move end to end, from our dock door to our customer door, both the physical movement and the information requirements, including the security, meaning that we have a right to monitor that freight at any moment. Our supplier diversity program seeks to expand local opportunities in all aspects of our Naramco supply chain. It's beyond logistics, it's materials, it's services. And although we have many large corporations currently supplying us, UPS being one of them, a very good one, UPS Supply Chain Logistics as well, we are looking forward to additional competition and having our supply requirements filled. So what's a competitive advantage in Georgia? The biggest one I can think of for us that's happened pretty recently is the Foreign Trade Zone Act, where Naramco was granted subzone status in 2008 for an intermediate that's supplied from our Janssen-Giel chemical plant. This is to support a new product that's just been launched, and if the volume projections come true, this is going to be a very significant benefit to our company and to our being in the state of Georgia and our manufacturing in the United States. Georgia has 3 designated foreign trade zones in Atlanta, Savannah, and Brunswick. And if you want to know more, you can ping GeorgiaFTZ.com. Check them out. I got to tell you, I did not know anything about the foreign trade zone a couple of years ago. We networked, found out a little bit more about it. You'd think, geez, a company like J&J, you have 120,000 employees, you know everything. No way. Didn't even know it existed. But once we did, and we looked into it and found out that we qualified, we had a really big win here. Now the product just has to sell. Okay, so this FTZ experience has been a great example of collaboration, partnering, and cooperation. And that's what we're trying to do with a lot of great companies. This is just a few. There's many more. UPS is one of them. FTZ is not one of them in Georgia. Okay, thank you. And